What is going on, everybody, and welcome to Puckin Around. My name is Jordan. You might know me as Shot Props. Coming at you today from behind the camera. Joining me, as always, Spittin' Picklets. How we doing, Spittin'?
You're
And special guest, Astra. Trevor, how you doing, brother? Thanks for joining us again.
hell
There
yeah.
we go. We are excited for some playoffs. Before we get into the show, we are presented by the Diamond Vault Discord. Information in the description if you want to learn more. We'll chat about it towards the end of the show. And then also, if you can subscribe, comment, retweet, any of that good stuff that's easy for you and helps us out a ton, we would greatly appreciate it. Last housekeeping note before we jump into the games. We would like to keep this as interactive as possible. So if you have questions, comments, pop them in the chat. We'll bring up as many on screen as we can. With that being said, how are you fellas enjoying the playoffs so far?
I like it a lot better when my team's not in it. I'll say that. It's not something I've had to go through or deal with the last little while. So, yeah, I mean, other than that, it's been great. Just lots of drama around my team. So,
yeah. And I mean, for me, obviously I wish the Wings were here, but I mean, from a gambling standpoint, I've loved it. From a viewer standpoint, I've loved it. So, I mean, overall, I think it's been really awesome. NHL playoffs are every year, it's the same shit. It's awesome every year. So, best
first
playoffs
round's always the best.
Yep.
I love it. Okay, why don't we jump right into our first game? First up, we've got the New York Rangers at the Washington Capitals. Rangers, a minus 175 money line favorite on the road. The over-under set at 5.5. Igor in net for the Rangers. Charlie Lindgren in net for the Caps. Spittin', we'll start with you, and then we will go to our guest, Astra. And Astra, we're just picking up a little feedback from your mic, so I'm just going to mute you when you're not talking, okay? I got it on my end.
Or do you have, like, headphones?
Oh, he's got it there.
In?
I'll just mute it when I'm not talking.
Okay.
If you forget, I got you too, so no worries. Spittin', we'll go first. Rangers at Capitals. Anything for this barn burner?
I don't understand this series. Like, it's going to be done in 4 games, I think. I haven't bet anything in this series yet. I don't like any of the prices for any Rangers guys. And, never mind. I have a play in this game. What am I talking about? My first time betting on this series. Sorry, guys. I'm a little
You're getting it live.
Yeah. I put this in my props.cash article today. Go check it out. John Carlson over 2.5 shots on goal. Got it at minus 110. Extremely good value because if you look at his chart over his last 5 games, he's never even landed on 3. It's been 5, 4, 4, 5, 4. So he's clearing it by an extra one. If you want to play it up, get some extra plus money, go ahead, get the 4. But he's been ripping both games this series. He's had 5 and then 4 shot attempts. And if you check out my shot on goal playoff cheat sheet, which will be on the website hopefully tomorrow, shotprops.com, check it out. The Rangers allow the 3rd most shots on goal to defensemen, averaging 8.5 per game.
Spittin', I'm just going to pull up the chart, and you can kind of talk people through it.
Sure.
Should be, we're good now.
Go. So I'm a little bit of a psychopath, and I go on Daily Faceoff, look at how the lines were in the previous game, and then after every game, I count how many shots each position had. Then I put it on a spreadsheet. Shots made this look pretty last year, and I'm doing it again this year. Just because there's so much inconsistency, and I mean, I'm not here to kind of speak poorly about anything Shots does. He's a wizard and stuff, but he pulled all of his data from Money Puck, and Money Puck's data, they'll have like Sam Ryan, like just for the Panthers, they have Carter Verhaeghe, Sam Reinhart, and Matthew Tkachuk all listed as centers, but they don't ever play center. So they will be categorized and their shots will count towards the center position where they're always playing the wing. So that's just so inconsistent. So I just thought with only 4 games, it wouldn't be too hard, especially in the first round. It'll get easier as it goes on. But I thought it would be, impressive data to pull.
Yeah, I agree with Spence. Looks real clean. So shout out Spittin'. This is something that is not sustainable for the website to do during the regular season to
Absolutely not.
cross-reference every game where every player played. But Spittin' is putting in the work for y'all this playoff season. So make sure you're following at Spittin' Picklets on Twitter. And again, like you said, it'll be on the website soon. And just real quick, just want to clarify something you said. You had mentioned Money Puck has these players listed at these positions. I think it's everywhere that has them listed at these positions. So shout out to Money Puck. Thank you for all the data that you provide. We appreciate it. But NHL.com lets teams list players at whatever position, even if they didn't play that at all the previous season. EX Carter Bragg. So there you go. But yeah, doing this by hand, you cannot get any more accurate than this. So we'll reference this as we need to. Sorry, that took a little bit longer than we thought on Spittin's turn. Astra, you're up. Anything for New York at Washington?
Yeah. So I think today's going to be a big Panarin day. I have him for a goal. I like him getting 2 points. Obviously, Zibanejad's been on a tear. Lafreniere has been my go-to goal guy for the last few games, and he has turned into like a passing guy all of a sudden. But I think Panarin's going to really do something tonight. He had a pretty rough game last game. He went from 7 shots to none. So, I think he's going to be turning things around, especially on the road here. I expect the Caps to be pushing. I think this is a game the Caps actually can win. So, we're going to need Panarin to get going here. I like his goal. And I did touch on it a little bit. Zibanejad's point for like a parlay piece is still really nice because just, again, he ended the season on like a 6 or 7 game assist streak. He's carried it into the playoffs. Debatably, that line has been their best line. Roslovic's been shooting the puck a little bit more. And then there's the power play opportunities too. That power play as a whole. I didn't really take anything actually for this, but the power play point for Panarin, I don't know the odds. This for honestly, anybody. Most likely Panarin though.
Even money.
Pretty nice too.
Even money for Panarin. So there you go. So there you go. Some looks, multiple looks for Washington at New York. I think some of the other games might be a little bit more interesting. So let's keep it moving. Next up, we have Spittin's Vancouver Canucks taking on the Nashville Predators. God. Nashville's a slight favorite at -115 with the over-under set at 5.5. Unfortunately for Spittin and the other Vancouver Canucks fans, it is Casey DeSmith in net. Hopefully Thatcher Demko is back soon. UC Saros projected for Nashville, or sorry, will be starting for Nashville. We will start with Spittin again this one, and then we'll go to Astra, and then Astra will start the next 2 games. So Spittin, the floor is yours.
Oh, God. I'm just so scared. Like, I really want the Canucks to win. I think it's going to be better that we're actually on the road, to be honest. Nashville I think they were the 19th ranked home team in terms of points percentage this season. So they're not great at home, but they're actually better on the road. But when they went on that run back in 2017, we saw what this building can do. So
yeah,
it's going to be scary. I guarantee you we're going to get some Casey DeSmith chance. But, he even said he prefers to play on the road. And I feel like a lot of the whole team's going to feel like that because there's it was the first time any of this core has ever played in front of Vancouver fans in the playoffs. They saw how crazy they were. But now there's a lot less stress on everything. So sorry, I'm just rambling on about my team. But for a play, I wrote about this. I have 3, but I'm not 100% going to play. I'll just tell you my favorite one. It's JT Miller to get an assist. So after the game, I didn't even look at his chart. I just listened to his post game after game 2, and he was asked, why did you try all these, slap passes tonight? And he was like, well, there's Ryan McDonough and a bunch of yellow jerseys in front of me every time I try and shoot. So now he tries a slap pass, and it almost worked countless times. And so if he's going to continue to do that, then he's obviously going to get an assist. Like if they end up scoring, right? Mm-hmm. So I got that at -110. I thought that was extremely good value. I also think Pettersson gets a point tonight. And there's a lot of slack, and bad mouthing about his play, and for good reason. He had 0 shots on goal in last game, and he had 9 shot attempts, which is just crazy. He had a wide open net and he missed. Like, everyone's talking about him right now and how bad he is, and that's why I think he's going to do good. He's never gone he's gone 4 games without a point once this season. He's at 3. Sorry. He hasn't got a point in 3 straight. So this would be 4, and he's only ever done that one time. So I think with all the slack against him, I think he'll come through tonight. Hopefully it happens on the same play where JT Miller passes it to Petey and then he scores or something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, is that wide open net Petey missed. Did Miller pass him that puck?
Yeah, it was on the power play, so I think it was cross crease. I think you're right. Like, so if he doesn't miss this, they connected last game, so I think a lot of pressures left off of them. I kind of want to just take the Canucks money line. I'm talking myself into it, but yeah, I can be done now.
Good value, -105 if you like that for the Canucks. Should mention, did not mention where the series are at. So Rangers leading the Capitals to 0 in that series and tied up at 1 in Vancouver at Nashville.
Did anybody watch that game though? The game 2? I was at the game, and we should have won that game. We dominated play the whole time. Did you see the shot attempts? It was 84 for Vancouver and 36 for Nashville. And the shots ended up 18-16 for Vancouver.
Well, how do you Miller said, they're getting in front of them.
Yeah, but Quinn Hughes had 3 shots on 13 attempts. JT Miller had 3 shots on 10 attempts. Petey had 0 shots on 9 attempts. It was just crazy. We were dominating play the whole time. So I honestly think it's kind of something to build off of, and I hope it translates today.
I like that. Let's transition to Astra. Have you highlighted anything in Vancouver at Nashville?
Yeah, so I like the Quinn Hughes assist only because he has unbelievable history versus the Predators. I don't have the exact. That's kind of like your job, I guess, up there. But he's got tons of assists versus his team in his career. Last game, I don't think he had any, but the game before he had 2 assists.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've been seeing a lot of people catering more towards Predators props because with the Smith and that. And the Preds are now at home. People are going over with Yossi's assist or just point in general. But the value on Quinn Hughes' assist is unbelievable. I think if the Canucks are going to score goals, he's going to have to get involved. And to put things on the Predator side as well, though, Philip Forsberg is my goal scorer for this game. So I like Quinn Hughes' assist and Forsberg to put one in the net for the Predators.
Forsberg goals over the last 10.
I think he scored last game, I believe, too.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Noah Juleson screwed up in the corner.
He did 3 shots in every game over the last 10. 3 minimum in every game over the last 10.
I love seeing all the people on Nashville props tonight, Nashville money line. Just feed me with it. And then I never want people to lose their bets, but this one I kind of do.
Props, I have a question for you too. So random. I joined this the StreamYard on my computer too.
Yeah.
If you could move that in, and then I could use my headset.
I got you.
Is that, I think, if I just turn my volume down on here. Let me do this.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So now this should work, right?
Yeah. Oh, you are good. Beautiful. Yeah. Nice. Right. Great problem solving.
There we go.
One question on this game before we move
be a lot better
on.
Too.
Spence says Forsberg 2+ points looks like good value. I'll pull up his chart and we'll see what you guys think. He hit 2 in the last game.
I'm not going to comment.
Spittin doesn't think he's going to do it. He wants like a 7-0 Vancouver win. Astro, what do you think? Maybe a little bit more unbiased.
Sorry, I was so dialed on switching all this up. What are you asking me?
No worries. Philip Forsberg for 2 points at +180. Do you like that value?
+180? Wow, yeah, that's great value.
There you go.
Not to side with Mr. Canucks here, but I like the Canucks this game. So I'm, like he said, everybody seems to be on the Preds today. It's the playoffs, and anything can happen. But I like the Canucks side of things. But +180 for Forsberg getting 2 points. That's really good value. So to answer your question, yeah, that's great value.
I agree. In the playoffs, you have to count on your stars, and I think
Mm-hmm.
especially this Nashville team, who that one line drives everything,
Mm-hmm.
or so much of it. Maybe that's unfair to the rest of the lineup, but they drive so much of the offense. Plus 180, and I know DeSmith hasn't been too bad. Oh, and he's saying he's much better at home as well. So we can take a look at that. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
I've never
his top
even
10 at
thought
home.
DeSmith was that bad of a goalie anyways.
He's not bad, but I don't believe most people think he's getting a shutout tonight. So
That's fair.
if Forsberg to be involved, would not be surprised.
If you were to just check the box score and not actually watch the game, his stats look terrible. He allowed 3 goals on 12 or on 15 shots, so he had 12 saves. But if you watch those, watch the goals. Anthony Beauvillier tipped it as he was going post to post, and he had a screen in front of him, so he didn't see the tip, and it went to the other side where he obviously wasn't covering because he's going post to post. Then the next one was a Noah Juleson screw up, which is why Philip Forsberg scored. It was just him all alone against DeSmith, and Carson Soucy had to cover right in front of the crease so that he couldn't cross crease pass it, because that would have been a goal too. So you give the goaltender 1-on-1, and it didn't work out for him. But then the third goal, what was the third goal? Oh yeah, Petey screwed up and gave it away at the point, and it was just a crazy tip in front. Like, if you
what I'm hearing is lots of room for improvement for Vancouver.
Yeah, we dominated play, and so
just a couple mistakes to capitalize on.
Can we move on?
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, listen, you could have had a Vezina candidate or Vezina contender heading into the season who gets pulled in your playoff game if you're an Islanders fan. That's a much worse situation. We will keep it moving as Spittin requested. Next up,
I could just go on and on and on.
Next up, we have the Winnipeg Jets at the Colorado Avalanche. Avs a minus 160 money line favorite at home, where they were dominant all season. Connor Hellebuck in net for the Jets. Alexander Georgiev in net for the Avalanche. Series is tied 1-1. Astra, like we said, we will start with you. Anything for Winnipeg at Colorado?
Yeah, so for the more value side of things, I have Makar getting 2 assists. It was like +2 something. He's had 2 assists in both games, and I just think that whole McKinnon, Rantanen, Makar, I think all 3 of them have a great game today. And I just I like a lot of defensemen today, honestly. We'll touch on more later, but this Makar 2 assists, his 1 assist is more of a parlay piece, but yeah, the 2 assists is like +2 something. So I have that, just soloed that. And then Nichushkin to score a goal. He's been on fire. He scored every game in the playoffs this year, the 2 games versus Winnipeg. And I like Nichushkin's play fits playoffs so well.
Yeah.
He's just that big body guy. He's not afraid to shoot. Gets in front of the net, kind of similar to Hyman's goals too, where he just hits those goals in front. Completely random. I just thought of it. He had that crazy goal that went off his face earlier in the year. I love his net front presence, his big body. Nichushkin's ripping tonight for sure. So yeah, him and Makar assists are my 2 favorites.
Very nice. It's wild to think Nichushkin played nearly a full season with Dallas and didn't score, recorded 2 penalty minutes. It's he was barely there, and to see how dominant and impactful he can be. Spittin', what about you? Oh, and one thing I will note also, I think Cale Makar 2 points if you think he has a shot at scoring, but you like the 2 assist look and you want to pivot to points. It's also at plus 180, I believe. Yeah, plus 180.
Goal in the first game, right? So it's still a great value.
So he was looking. He's been shooting a little bit more as the season, as the stretch went down. So,
oh god, sorry.
And one thing I do want to say too, actually, is I did solo Josh Morrissey. Is just his 1 assist is just a flat plus 100, and that's maybe yours is 105, but on FanDuel it was plus 100. And besides last game, during the regular season and this is again his history versus the Avs, he gets tons of assists versus them. So yeah, good solo piece right there for Morrissey to get 1 assist. Obviously, we're expecting a lot of goals.
Georgiev has not looked great.
Yeah, exactly. So
unfortunately,
expecting another big goal scoring game. Yeah, I like points everywhere.
I like it. Spittin', what about yourself?
What's up, Kevin?
What up, Kev?
Yep. What's going on? Thanks for joining us.
Yep. Going off of what you just said about Georgiev not being great, I'm going with Velarde to get a point. minus 105. Pretty good value with the exposure he has on the top line with Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele. He's got a point of 3 points in those 2 games.
Mhm.
And yeah, like you said, Georgiev's allowed 31 goals in his last 7 starts. That's crazy. And like just his body language when you watch him, he just feels so defeated when he gets scored on. Like he's like, oh, not again. Like, and then that trickles down throughout the whole.
There's no confidence.
Yeah,
That's the
there's
worst
no
thing that can happen as a goalie.
And like, how can your team have confidence in you if you're showing that type of body language out there?
Mhm.
So, I mean, he played a little better in game 2. He only allowed 2 goals. But I mean, I don't know. Just with his play, I like the Velarde point, especially like top power play, top line, and you almost get it at even money. So that was good. And then I'm also on Nichushkin for his shots tonight. He's just been ripping. He's such a playoff player. I believe he cleared in 9 of his last 10 playoff games. Over the 2.5. I gotta find a parlay piece for that. I might go over 2.5 and a point, or I might go over 2.5 and pair that with Kempe, or I might just, I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but
I can't believe Kempe's still at 2.5.
it's crazy. But I gotta play Nichushkin in some way. I might have like a lot of plays tonight.
Yeah,
Well, I mean-
honestly, me too.
Yeah.
Sounds like you guys both have a lot that you like. I know Astra kills some parlays, so maybe you guys want to collab on some as we get towards the end of the show for
Mhm.
any parlay pieces you haven't found a spot for yet.
Mhm.
Just to
All
touch
right.
on too what you said about Velarde, I was on his goals for the last 2 games and he hasn't scored yet, which sucks.
Yeah,
But
so
in the
that means
regular
he's scoring
season,
tonight.
yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Is in the regular season, in his last 5 games versus Colorado, he has 5 goals. Like,
dang.
yeah. So I mean, it should be coming. I would like to. I haven't bet on it yet. I probably will now that I'm talking about it. But
Mhm.
I like Velarde as well, and especially if his shots is still at. It was at like 1.5 last game, and
Dang.
he beat that. Yeah,
Yep.
I think it
looks like
still
it's
is,
still.
yeah.
Look at that. So I mean, that's not a bad look either. Like you said on the power play,
Mhm.
pretty sure Colorado takes a lot of penalties.
They do.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Also,
that's
if you
what I
want to
do,
pull
too.
up my chart,
Got you. Yep.
Winnipeg
Oh yeah.
for Nichushkin, Winnipeg allows the most shots on goal to left wingers, and he's on that top line left wing with McKinnon and Rantanen. I don't know if it was like that last game, or it must have been, but I don't think it was like that game 1. And then I
No.
think he had 5 shots last game. So I mean, like I just haven't decided whether I want to parlay it at the 2.5 or just go up to 4+.
Game 1 was Parise. Just
Right.
so you know, yeah. Drouin being out really messed everything up.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, you're our Colorado guy. What do you like tonight?
I think you guys are on the money with Big Val. Sorry, that's what the broadcast calls him, Nichushkin. Yeah, I so once we get to the end and we're looking at some parlays, maybe we can do a same game one for Colorado. I think there's a couple pieces there that we can look at, but no straight plays that I absolutely love in that one, just because playoff lines are a little bit tighter and they're expecting a lot of offense in this one, so they're almost expecting all of this stuff to happen, and it's priced as such. We do have one
I
comment.
hate like playoff times around, like playoff props around this time. They're all so juiced, dude.
Very
Yeah.
juicy. A lot more 2-leggers, especially as we go on. I think is
Yeah,
what
you gotta
most
get
people need
creative.
to do. You do need to get a little creative. Spence says he might go cilantro point. I was
Nice.
leaning more towards basil, but no, he corrected it, Velarde, and everybody else. Like you said, the boys are on this one as well. So there you go.
Are you a cilantro guy?
I love cilantro. I do.
Ew.
I hate it. I think it tastes like
Soap?
Soap?
mint. Yeah, like soap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like what certain people just don't like it.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. You're missing out, but obviously not to you. Okay, we have one game left on the slate, and we did have a question about this one from earlier as well. So the final one we've got. Oops, that's not good. Edmonton Oilers taking on the LA Kings. This series also tied up at -145. Edmonton Oilers are the favorite on the road with the over/under set at 6.5. Skinner in net for Edmonton, Talbot in net for the Kings. Once again, we will start with Astra. What are you liking in this one?
Yeah. So back to defenseman. Bouchard. I love his point is probably safer, but I think he gets an assist. He did
Mhm.
score in back-to-back game. The last 2 regular season games versus Kings, he scored in too. So his point is safer, but I like his assist. I think it is good value for a solo. And then his 2 assists, which I'll try not to talk about it too much because I'm frustrated about it, but The first game, it was plus 500 for 2 assists. I smacked that. Easy W. He had like 4. Next game, it was like barely lower. It was like plus 450. He got 0. This game, it's like plus 380 all the way down where he's on the road where you would think at home, he's better. The price for the 2 assists makes no sense. So it's kind of frustrating. I paired Bouchard 2 assists with Makar for a lotto.
Yep.
That was my 2 assist lotto was Bouchard and Makar 2 assists. So I like that. The Bouchard assist and then Draisaitl score. He got robbed on that sick McDavid pass. He lights up the Kings. Draisaitl has been unbelievable on the road. He wants that goal back, and this is a must-win game for them. I couldn't imagine. I mean, obviously they don't want to, but I could imagine they want to go down in the series to the Kings.
Absolutely. Very nice. Spittin', what about you?
Well, just to go off Draisaitl, like he had 8 shots, I think, last game. Like just crazy. So I like his shots too. I think he get it. Yeah, minus 110, and I think he's better on the road. I know he was at the beginning of the year, but I think he had a good like home run.
That is a crazy price.
We'll take a quick look. So home, he
had
hit 49% of the time, away 53. So slight improvement. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I just remember last year, like it didn't matter. I was betting on the Oilers every game, like one center to get these shots, Draisaitl on every road game, and then McDavid every home game. Like, because I think McDavid was at 70% and Draisaitl was 60. So that's what just engraved in my brain now.
Draisaitl's over 2 shots, or so 3 or more in like 12 straight versus the Kings.
Unreal.
I don't know if you remember when Trevor Moore and Fiala were very similar. Like Fiala was the home guy, Trevor Moore was the away guy. Maybe not so much anymore, but it's just funny they're playing each other now. I just remembered that early in the year. I remember Fiala was like the home dog. Yeah, and Trevor Moore would go crazy on the road.
I remember that too. I kind of touched on it earlier. Adrian Kempe. I don't understand. It was at 2.5. I took him last game for 4, and he had 4 the first 3 shots of the game for the Kings, and it cashed in like 6.5 minutes. And what did he end up with? 7. That's crazy. Like, why is he at 2.5? I don't know. Parlay it with Big Val, maybe. Or I've been playing 4+, so I might just do that as well.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't mention him either. Honestly, I just forgot to. It seems so.
Look at his head-to-head chart against the Oilers too. It's crazy.
He lights them up.
Yeah. So you got to play him. Like that's why today is going to be so. I might have 8 plays because everything looks good, and then I don't like bet on the other ones really. So I don't know. This might be either great or terrible.
No, I like Kempe for 4+. I think that's a good look.
You can move it up there, can you? Just move it up
there.
Move the bar up.
Oh, like the little
How do I do that?
Go down and click the little up arrow a little bit.
Down. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah, that's it. There we go.
Up again. Yeah. So that's 4+. So instead of 12 straight, 11 out of his last 12.
And 100% this year.
6 straight.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So Kempe for 4+ as an individual, and then we could probably find a 2.5 one in a parlay piece.
Yeah.
And then we did have a question about Fiala, so I'll get your opinion on that. I'll pull up his chart here. Was it Spence? No, J-Dubs. Fiala or Arvidsson, rather. Oh, so 2 guys we haven't talked about.
Good question.
So Fiala, there's his chart. Arvidsson, there's his chart. If we look at the last 10, very good for Arvi. Equally as good for Fiala. So thoughts on either of these two? Anybody have any?
I personally would lead Arvidsson just because I think he's more of a shoot first guy, where Fiala, he does shoot for sure, but I think Fiala is more of a pass first kind of guy.
Yeah.
So I would lead Arvidsson, but I mean, we just saw too with the charts. I mean, they both look equally as good.
Yeah, you can't really go wrong.
I would lean Arvidsson personally.
Do you want to pull up the chart?
Oh, for Arvi? Yeah.
No, not like mine.
Oh, yeah. I could do that.
Yeah, like look at that. Edmonton allows the most of right wingers, which
Either
I think Arvidsson plays, but they also allow a crap ton to the left wing. So I don't think you could go wrong either which way. I would maybe just say Fiala because I think he's a better price, but
or Kempe at 4+.
Yeah,
true, exactly. That's why we're gonna have so many plays today.
Yeah.
Now, let's go back here. Let's go back here. You guys had so that basically wraps up our game previews. If anybody does have any other questions, pop them in the chat.
Here we go.
Did you guys want to try and cook up some extra parlays?
I'll do whatever. Yeah, it's gonna be weird for me though because I got my phone right here and I'm not a big PC gambler. I use the apps. So
Same.
and look, if I get off this, it turns my video off.
You're good. If you want to take the video off, that's totally cool.
All right, then yeah,
No
I'll just do that
stress.
and stay on the.
Yeah. Spitting.
Well, we have a question here.
Oh, did I miss a question?
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Let's see.
Vander Kane for 3+ at plus money. So I haven't been on him yet this playoffs just because he was playing on the 4th line. But now I just checked, he's on the 3rd line. So I don't hate that either. And he's the shooter on that line for sure.
Mhm.
So that's not bad. It's good. Don't get me wrong. I kind of would just lean Draisaitl over him just because he plays on that top power play and everything. And Nuge is in the shooter. Warren Fogel's charts have actually been pretty good lately too.
Mm-hmm. I agree with everything you said. I just think there's a lot of better options.
Yeah, you could take anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fogel.
You could name anyone in this game, and I'll say yes.
All right. So Spittin', let's start with you. Any parlay pieces that you don't have a pairing for yet?
Well, no, but I'm gonna play everything. So I don't know.
Okay.
My favorite on the day would probably just be Kempe because his charts are incredible, and that 2.5 line is awesome.
So what do we think about Kempe Nichushkin over 2.5 parlay?
That's what I think I was going to do.
Sounds like a lot.
All right.
So I like that.
So Kempe plus Nichushkin over 2.5. That'll be one. I think Aster, you had said, was it Zibanejad you were trying to get in?
For disappoint,
Yeah.
that's definitely not one of my favorites. I think it's a good look for sure. I have
Let's
it
go
in
to
a
one of
play
your
already
favorites.
too. Yeah. Put me on the spot here. Honestly, it sucks because it's from. I can't really put it. It's from the Kings. I like Bouchard so much today, man. I'm a big Bouchard guy. I think that guy's had a great season. Let me get one from one of these other two games here.
It does. We could be a new one. We don't have to add to Kempe Nichushkin if you want. We can.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to do Bouchard, if that's your favorite, let's start with that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Find him. And what you like him for the assist?
Yeah.
Or shots? Assists. Okay.
We could do an assist parlay.
I guess it depends because a little assist parlay. Yeah.
Because I love JT Miller for an assist.
You could do McCarr, Bouchard, Miller.
Oh, sounds good.
Well, now I just feel like I should do Hughes because 3D.
No. Pick who you think is going to get it. You want me to do McKinnon
narrative
for that?
of him doing the slap passes and all that stuff.
I can do McKinnon instead.
He had a free backdoor tap in from JT Miller last game.
Mm-hmm.
McKinnon will have it here. Let's look at McKinnon's chart real quick because we didn't talk about his assists, but he was on fire.
At home, I feel like McKinnon gets 2 assists every game at home.
Yeah. So
he's good.
I would
get the McDavid treatment.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's minus 240. I think this is minus 245 for over half an assist. It says 1.5.
Yeah. I think it's because you went up 1 on the last one, so it stayed.
Do you guys play block shots at all? I just noticed we haven't talked about any of that, and I'm not really in on that.
Dude, you can in the playoffs, but I tried in the regular season and I just can't.
Yeah, that's how I was the same way.
I don't think I hit 1, and I tried 5 times. So
I was the same way. Because the playoffs I've been doing them and they've not been bad.
Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at some of those. Which games did you want to look at? The Nashville game?
Well, yeah, they blocked how many? 36.
But look at these prices though. Minus 180. You have to parlay them almost, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, so the reason I mentioned it was because Jacob Trouba is still plus 120 something for 2.5.
I looked at him.
Yeah, and he's hit that 3 games in a row. Yeah, and he's plus money.
Solid.
And Trouba's
looking at more props. I don't need to add to my card.
So I'm gonna play McKinnon assist, Miller assist, Bouchard assist.
Okay. Sounds good
Okay,
to me.
I like that.
Makes sense for me too, because I already have McCarr's assist and all my stuff anyway. So
McKinnon will be involved somehow. The Jets do a very good job at limiting his shots.
Dude, he's due to take over a game though, man. McKinnon's gonna.
You'd hope. But
Yeah.
even when he's putting up 6, 7, 8 shots, he's still getting assists in those games too. So I'm not. That doesn't worry me. But like you said, if you want to go all in on McKinnon for like a same game parlay, those can be profitable when he's on. Like you said,
I don't know. I bet on him already once, and he let me down.
I know. I tailed you. It was a tough game for him. It happens. Can't hit every game. If it was easy, everyone would bet.
JT Miller's assist is plus 100 on on DraftKings.
Oh baby.
A good price. Yeah, you said McKinnon, Bouchard, Miller.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Nice. All right.
So Miller assists straight up as well. Let me add that to my list. Yeah, we got a lot.
I know.
Was there anything else you guys wanted to investigate? Or do we have any? Oh, we have some questions here too. Locked in point parlay for the DK boost. Yossi for a point. Kempe, Velarde, and McKinnon for 2 at plus 741. That's nice. I like that
it
one.
That is nice. Except the Yossi part.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go Canucks.
Swap that for your Canuck of choice if you live in Vancouver.
Yeah, I mean, I like what we touched on for the most part. There's so much to like today. I mean, it's so hard to go wrong.
It's a fun slate.
I'm trying to see if
let
we
me.
missed anything.
Yeah, no, you go ahead. You research that. I'm gonna just get some prices for some of these parlays. Spitting, is there anything you wanted to talk about?
I was on Vancouver radio today.
Oh, tell us about it. Well,
That's
we pull some of this stuff up.
CKNY or NW.
And what were you talking about?
Talking about the Canucks. It's like global. It was CKNW's like global news.
Right.
Do you have global over in Ontario?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I didn't know that. It was awesome. It was fun. It was first time on the radio. I tweeted it out if you wanted to listen to it. I don't believe that I sound nervous, but I can assure you I was physically shaking the entire time. But yeah, it was awesome, and hopefully they'll have me back on.
That's very exciting.
I have to go take a look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And as I'm looking this up, Spittin, did you have any playoff series props?
I had some at the beginning, which I had Canucks minus 1.5. That's looking worse and worse by the day. I had a parlay of the Oilers just to win the series and Carolina minus 1.5. Got that at plus 170 or something like that, and that's looking good so far. As long as Edmonton wins tonight. And then my two, I guess you can get in on these ones. I usually do one, like a Stanley Cup winner from each conference, and then hopefully they just play in the finals, and then I secure a win. But I did the Carolina Hurricanes and a rematch of the 2006 Stanley Cup final against the Edmonton Oilers. But
wow,
I didn't do the Oilers to win the cup. A good way to get a better price on stuff like that, I took Connor McDavid to win the Conn Smythe, because there's just no way he doesn't win the Conn Smythe if the Oilers win the cup, right? And I think the Oilers to win was plus 650, but then I got McDavid at plus 1100 to win the Conn Smythe. I mean, we saw it when Washington won. Kuznetsov had more points than Ovi, but it was such a monumental thing for Ovi. He finally got one that they gave him the Conn Smythe over Kuznetsov. So even if Draisaitl gets more points than McDavid, I still think they just give it to McDavid anyway. But I don't even think that's the case. So
it's so random, but that reminds me of the All-Star game when they gave Matthews the.
I bet that too.
Well, as a Wings fan,
to the hometown guy.
Dude, as a Wings fan, DeBrincat had like 6 points.
Yeah,
like the 3. I was so pissed. I was like, "Come on."
Astra, I'll say this. I live in Toronto. I'm not a Leafs fan, or I live near Toronto. I'm not a Leafs fan, and I did bet Matthews to win the award. And like as that final game was ending, I was like, well, obviously DeBrincat's going to win. But that was ridiculous. That should not have happened.
I mean,
So
I was
I'm with you.
happy.
I'm with
I was
you.
on
As
Matthew's
a better,
side.
it worked for me, but
Yeah.
I'm totally with you.
Yeah.
I see.
Uh,
This what sucks for me is I can't bet on any of that stuff. Like my state
Right.
doesn't allow it.
Yeah.
What?
It's state to
Yeah,
state.
it's
State's
because
always
it's
different.
they say it's like an opinion-based award, and they don't allow opinion-based betting or something like that.
To be honest, they're probably right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I could see why, but
Like, I don't
Yeah.
fault them.
for the
So you
fun of
can't
it,
bet
I
on
wish.
like any regular season awards either.
Nope, and it sucks because like for the NFL, I can't bet on like
The
the
draft.
draft. I couldn't even bet on the
Yeah.
draft. You can't bet on offensive player of the year. I can't bet on the Calder. Like I can't bet on anything. Yeah.
I think it's time to move.
Yeah. Hey, I graduate in 3 weeks and I go home. So
Right
I don't
on.
even know if Michigan allows it too, but Virginia.
Where are you right now for school?
Virginia.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. Okay, so just circle back real quick. Nichushka and Kempe plus 155 for over 2.5 for each of them. Probably do a unit and a half on that one. I love that one.
Yeah, I put 2 on it.
I love that one.
Oh, ho, ho, ho.
There's just no way, man. There's no way that doesn't hit. There's no way. Like
Yeah,
this
I
is
mean-
that's all. Hey, this is how it all calls
You better
crumbling
knock
down.
on
But
the fattest piece of wood right now.
oh, you
No,
know what I knocked on.
I no, I actually absolutely love that play. And then I'll get a price for our assist parlay shortly as well. Before we do that, though, let me pull up some of these Conn Smythe odds, and we'll see what you guys are thinking. Can you guys see that on the screen?
Yep.
Awesome.
Let me just
Spitting.
put my glasses on.
I can zoom in a little more.
Yeah, there
Is
we
that
go.
any better?
Yeah.
On this list, do you think you see the winner? Do you like any of these odds where it's worth gambling on? What jumps out to you?
Well, I just went on a ramble about Connor McDavid. So
yeah.
I think I see the winner on here.
The one guy that jumped out to me was Matthew Tkachuk, just because I love how he plays in the playoffs. The Panthers are a great team, and yeah, he just shows up in the playoffs, and that's a good price for him for sure. But I agree with everything he said about McDavid. He seems like there's a reason he's plus 850.
But like, what about Bob?
Oh, I didn't really think of that. Actually, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some unbelievable saves.
Yeah,
he's
true.
been-
I
Wild.
didn't
been
think about that at
crazy.
all.
I heard on a podcast. Do you think Bob is a Hall of Famer?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
They said undoubtedly.
What?
That's
Yeah.
crazy. I think he's like the Hall of Very Good.
I think you could make a case, but that
I mean, it all depends. Like if he wins a Stanley Cup this year, now does that change your mind?
I think it depends on how they win the Stanley Cup this year.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know if Bob continues to play how he is. Sure, that would change my mind because
Like
he's done it before.
if he had the same run as last year, potentially.
Yeah.
But like he was great. He was great in Columbus, and then like the first few years in Florida were terrible. Like that's why they went out and drafted Spencer Knight.
Yeah. That's a good question.
Mm-hmm. I would also lean no, but I don't
Definitely
know.
one of those ones where we'll see in a month or two here.
Shaw Props, what do you think? Do you see the winner on here?
Actually, I have another question for you guys because I had Astor said something that intrigued me, and I had the same thought heading into the playoffs. Matthew Tkachuk is a playoff type player, but check out this stat: Matthew Tkachuk 7 hits in the playoffs thus far. How many do you think Austin Matthews has?
So I'm biased because I heard about like how many hits were in the first period of that game, of that last game. So I went and checked, and I saw he had like 5, and I was blown away. So I know it's a high number, but
Yeah. So
Matthews
so
hits?
far,
I'm
3
gonna go
games.
with 28.
7 for Tkachuk in 3 games. Austin Matthews has 17. He's also got Tkachuk has 2 block shots. Matthews has 3 block shots, and I don't have the stat right in front of me, but I would bet a lot of money that Austin has way more takeaways. It's just interesting because I would never think of Austin Matthews as like a playoff type guy, and I think everybody thinks of Matthew Tkachuk
like a
that.
physical guy in general.
Mhm.
Yeah, he's stepping it
think-
up. So
I think
he
he's
can
just
lo-
he's just a rat out there.
I think Boston is just getting on. Like, I think if it was a different team, the stats
yeah,
would be
that's
different.
fair. Yeah, they hate Boston. This is true.
Yeah, and just how the series has gone, like I wouldn't be surprised if he keeps doing that.
It's just interesting.
It is.
Yeah. So in terms of who else is on here,
Yeah, I don't think there's many other.
It's just riddled with Florida
I
players.
mean, Marchessault's not bad for the value.
if you like a Vegas to go far, I absolutely. Logan Thompson's been very good too.
That one goal, didn't he let in like a brutal goal though? One of them was pretty bad. I don't remember. It was some like I don't
Logan
remember.
Thompson?
Yeah, I think it was like a real bad. Like he should have saved it.
I think it was game 2, the first goal of the game, Jason Robertson.
Maybe.
It just went straight through his 5-hole with his pads already.
Because I remember I wasn't watching it. I was like making food or something, so I just like could hear the game,
Mhm.
and like the announcers were just going like, "That's a save you got to make in the playoffs," blah blah. And I tried to go see it, and I couldn't see it.
It's fair. It's fair.
Eichel being 2,000 over him is pretty crazy. I don't know if he's done much better, but
Mm-hmm.
it seems like a big difference for a guy who, I mean, I feel like Marchessault's been way better. But
It's going to go to Connor McDavid. Come on.
Let me ask you this though: if Carolina wins the cup, who gets it? So I don't think that no one person stands out on that team to me.
yeah, that's
Too
Carolina
early.
though. Yeah, too early. I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like they haven't. Yeah, okay.
Way Anderson's playing though. I would like to say it's him. He's had a great series so far.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could say that about everybody. Aho scored.
Has he though? Because game 2, he allowed 3 goals early, and then the Islanders finished with 12 shots.
True. Very
in
true.
the whole game. So like
I haven't
that game
noticed
wasn't great.
And so much either. He's been okay. I don't know. If I had to pick one of the three, I would actually pick Aho just because I'm a big Aho fan.
Yeah.
I like his game. And that tying goal obviously was huge.
Mhm.
Cash my parlay. Thank you.
Well done. Well done.
I couldn't believe it.
Speaking of parlays, so I got one update on pricing for the assist parlay we chatted about, and then Astra, I know you've released some other parlays. Did you want to say the public ones here that you've already played?
Yeah, I mean, the only one I played so far was my goal scores, which was a combination of just a goal score for every game. Panarin, Forsberg, Nichushkin, Draisaitl scoring. Yeah, I don't need to really go in depth why, but I think I touched on most of them when we were talking earlier. But yeah, 30 plus 3,500 for those 4 guys to score. I mean, the value on some of these goal scorers is pretty crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, there's those, and then I should have another one posted when we get off here. I plan to post it around 6.
Okay.
I honestly don't even know what I'm going to post yet. If it's going to be, honestly, I was thinking I'm just posting that Bouchard and Makar 2+, because I like posting lottos as like
Big
my free
ones.
plays more.
Yeah.
So that was honestly probably what I was thinking of doing was the Bouchard Makar 2+. But then now that we've been sitting here talking about these shots, like there's still unbelievable value on like Kempe 4+ is still plus money. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like you can build a crazy, like I wouldn't be surprised if Nichushkin got 4 or 5 shots too. So like maybe after we get off this, I'm gonna sit down for a second, or just at the end here, look at some of these alt shot lines and build something off there. But yeah, there's still value here in these shots. I'm not the biggest fan of shots in these stat correction rampages that happen.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm leaning towards the assists probably.
I love that. Speaking of assists, the assist parlay that we mentioned on DraftKings, that was McKinnon, Miller, and Bouchard, plus 426 for all 3. I will also note Bouchard and Miller very playable individually, so that's probably the safer route if you like them.
And if you got Bet365, they got a super boost.
Oh, do they? What did you get? What's your boost?
Miller and Hughes to get a point plus 200.
I wonder if I have the same one.
It might be just Vancouver.
We'll see. I'm gonna check.
I have beef with FanDuel and their lack of boosts and promotions for the NHL. Serious beef.
Sorry. Here, we'll get to that in 1 second, Astra. So I want to finish with spitting. So that super boost, we're obviously just maxing that out, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my $2 or whatever they let me put.
Yeah. My max is $20.
I am pretty sure mine's 10.
Oh my god.
Anyways, okay, and then they also have a 50% profit boost for the same game parlay for Kings Oilers. So maybe we cook something up. I know Astra, you can't do that, but maybe if we can cook something up as a trio, and then we'll wrap things up. Astra, you wanted to talk about FanDuel real quick?
No, I was just getting my comment in about them because they're like literally the sponsored sportsbook of the NHL. and they're the least, like every other sports book does all these promotions and boosts and all this. And yesterday they did 2 boosts, which was the first time I've seen all playoffs basically.
Yep.
But yeah, it frustrates me that FanDuel is the literal sponsored sports book of the NHL, and they do the least. Or
You're
like us
you're 100%
gambling.
right. Yeah, if you like boosts, I will say of the books that I have, DraftKings, Bet365, BetMGM, all significantly above FanDuel in terms of boosts.
It was 100% stepped up on DK today. Like,
They have tons. DK does a lot.
yeah, I love it.
Okay, so maybe if we can build a same game parlay real quick for Edmonton Kings, and then we'll wrap it up. I'll pull up props.cash. Before we do that, actually, we do always have to let folks know where they can find your work outside of this show. So we'll start with Astra, then we'll go to Spittin'. Astra, where can people find your work?
I am on Twitter at IIAstra. I post in my Discord every day. Coming down to the wire here with these last months of hockey coming. But yeah, it's mainly just Twitter and Discord for me. I've built a pretty nice following here, just doing my thing on Twitter. I honestly have really enjoyed Twitter, especially during these playoff times, just because I like the collaborative aspect. I like just talking about hockey. So yeah, Twitter's the main place to go if you don't want to pay. Like, I post perfectly fine. I just hit something a couple days ago. You can see it right there actually. Just 3 days ago, I posted my public play. It was 4 goal scores, all 4 of them smacked. Let's go. But yeah, Twitter and Discord for me. Astra.
Love it. Spittin', where can people find your content?
You can find all my plays in the Diamond Vault Discord. You can find all my stuff on my Twitter at Spittin' Picklets, with written content on Canucks Army, Flames Nation, Bet365, Daily Faceoff, and apparently now on the radio and on shopprops.com.
He's everywhere. And for me, at ShotProps on Twitter, shotprops.com for NHL data. Still some work to do on some of our playoff stuff. So we'll stay posted for those updates. Lots more coming there as we get more playoff data coming in. And lastly, the Wager Workshop Discord, which is a free Discord that I launched. We're not really talking about picks in there. It's more for people who really like to talk about strategy. If you want to learn about how to do more with Google Sheets, stuff like that. People who really like to get into the weeds about betting. So less about picks, more about the actual process itself. So if that sounds interesting to you, check out my Twitter page and you'll find more information.
I'm looking forward to seeing the period shooting thing, whatever you said you're going to add.
Yes, I teased that.
Be awesome.
So we'll have that probably for next season. But
nice.
So on the site right now, let me see.
That's going to be real valuable. I don't think the books will be able to handle that for the first couple weeks.
So yeah, right now on the site right now, you got a couple different filters. Year to date, last 10, the location, home and away, and then also the groupings. So if you want to combine the wingers, which I know a lot of folks do, also looking to add, and I think it'll be relatively easy to code in, a period breakdown. So you can see how many teams allowed to specific positions in a specific period.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it'll be some cool stuff coming.
Do books offer that straight?
FanDuel does in the playoffs. And,
yeah, I wonder if they keep it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I know like Prize Picks and Underdog do. They'll do like.
I forgot about Prize Picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so FanDuel.
I haven't seen it on any sports books that I'm on.
But at any rate, something to add. Lots planned for the site for next year.
How electric would that be if you bet someone over 1.5 first period shots and then you're just sweating it out and then like 3 seconds left he shoots?
Yeah,
that's literally yesterday. Draisaitl had like a dump in on net in the last 2 seconds. Some guy on Twitter had him to get like shots in that period.
Yeah,
he had like 6, and he had him for 3 and 2. It was like plus 900 for Draisaitl to get 3 shots in the second, and he got like 6. I was like, bro, yeah, and he it was a pretty crazy parlay. It was like 80 to win like 10 grand.
Damn.
It was that and like some NBA like assist in the first. I don't even fucking know, but yeah, it was. I couldn't believe. I was like, why the hell did you pick Draisaitl to go crazy in the second period?
And boom,
he did it. Yep, and he did it.
That's wild. Okay, real quick to wrap it up. Let's see if we can find some of our favorite plays for Edmonton LA Kings. There's a 50% profit boost if you have Bet365. So I know Spittin and I do, so let's cook something up. Anything that you want to start off with?
I've already cooked my 3.
Okay.
Ooh.
Do we want to start with that? Do you want to tell us? Maybe. If you're
Yeah,
comfortable.
sure.
keep
I
it.
mean, Kempe's obvious for 3.
Okay. Kempe for 3.
I bought Draisaitl down to 2 just because my first or the last leg was pretty good
Okay.
pricing. I went the over 5.5, which if you let me pull this up. Kings Oilers history. What the hell?
And let me know if there's any charts you want to see if as we add more Spittin or Astro.
Heard.
Okay. Yeah, so they've gone over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of the last 8 playoff games, they've gone over 5.5.
Okay.
Oh,
So I have Kempe 3 shots, 3+ shots, Draisaitl 2+. Over
I mean, I
5.5
can do
goals.
Draisaitl 3+2 and then just not bet that. I think that's actually the way to go. I just wanted to be safe because 50% profit boost is pretty good, and doing it at 2+ with the over and the Kempe 3 shots got us plus 200. So it'd be like what, plus 300?
Plus, yeah, I'm at plus 200. Let me see what I get for Leon.
Leon plus 320, which would be plus 480.
And there's a lot of guys we said that we like that you could even add to it. Again, now if you want to be safe or be safer, don't do this part. But
Yeah.
what do we
But
think
just
of
with
that?
because you need 3 legs to do this, right? And it needs to be over
Minimum
plus
3,
100.
right?
Yeah. So that's why I only like to stick to 3.
Okay. For anybody who wants to go a little bit crazier, Astra, is there anybody you would add to that? We've looked at Fiala. We've looked at Kane. We haven't even talked about Hyman. And I will also say Bet365 does allow you to buy down, like Spittin mentioned. So if a guy's listed at 3.5, but you like him at 3, that still works for something like this.
Does it have to be shots? Only shots?
Could be anything. Any
Shots, points, assists,
Bet365
wide
is
shots, saves.
wildly flexible.
I mean, besides, because obviously I love, like I've already said, it's like 60 times Bouchard and all that. Nothing really else I'd add. I just, like I said, I'm on Bouchard and Draisaitl today. So, I mean, I guess what shots did you say you guys have? What was your parlay?
It was Draisaitl and Kempe. But if we do Bouchard for a point, it's plus 240, and then plus the 50%, it'd be plus 360.
Not bad. I like his point because I mean he has 3 shots and 4 shots in the last 2 games versus the Kings, so he's been shooting. Like I said, he scored in back-to-back the last 2 games versus the Kings in the regular season. But we've already got Bouchard all over the place. I think you guys are on track for whatever. I mean, I like the looks you have. Hyman's not bad, but you know it's hard to say with him because like McDavid, he's got to score at least once in this series. I think he has to.
Yep.
But then, you know, you go and look at how he's been playing, and he's just dishing these pucks around, and he plays with a guy who scores all these goals. And on a power play, you know, Draisaitl and Hyman and Bouchard are the 3 guys shooting, not him. So
He's only scoring because of his money, though, that his parents have.
What a stupid comment that was. Oh my god.
yeah, I wouldn't add much.
Oh, okay. Here's okay. I just added everything that I thought looked good. You tell me what you would take away.
Oh my
Okay.
god!
Right?
All right.
So there's like 15 props. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm ready.
There's I think 8 or 9. Leon for 3 shots. Kempe for 3 shots. Fiala for 3. Arvidsson for 3. Kane for 3. And then the next 4 players all to get a point each. McDavid, Draisaitl, Kempe, Bouchard. That's plus 3,300 before the boost.
Dang.
That's good utilization of that boost right there.
Sorry, would you say you would? What I didn't hear your first comment, Astor. Would you get rid of anything there?
No, I liked it all. I mean, obviously some things scare me, like you know, it's gambling, like you know, all this can hit. But like the ones that scare me would probably be Kane and Fiala, just because.
Okay.
Just you know how they play. I don't know. Like it all looks good. It's hard to really critique it. It sounds all very plausible. I mean, like we talked about Kane moving up a line, on a line with guys where he's clearly going to be the main shooter. I don't know. I just read one of the comments from before. Some guy said Kane is better at home and they're on the road. So I
Okay.
don't know how much that'll go into it, but for the value of that, I mean, it sounds like all 4 of those points are Lock City. Shots obviously should scare you. So like I guarantee it, man. Like someone's gonna have 2. It's gonna come down to the wire. You're gonna be sweating your balls off. Like it's just what's gonna happen. Maybe
here,
I
what
mean
would you-
Fogel wouldn't be a bad addition. Fogel's been pretty good.
Okay, so I'll take Kane off. I'm going to bump Fiala down to 2.
Ooh, that's awesome.
And
actually.
Fogel at 2 or 3. What are we thinking here?
2 is probably best because you're gonna get good value on the 2. He had 2
okay.
last game.
So that's plus 1,600. And then again, that's still before the boost. So we're still looking at a nice little boost. So I'm good with that.
Plus 2,400.
Let's
Wow,
do
look
it.
at this guy.
All right. Math wizard. Yeah, that's fun. And then Spittin', do you want to say your way more simpler, more likely to hit version?
Well, I don't know. I haven't fully decided on it. I'm gonna
you're
go
not-
with
you
over
haven't bet
5.5 in the Kempe 3+ shots.
Yeah, actually, I should probably add over 5.5 because if all this happens,
it's gonna
True.
have to go over 5.5.
yeah,
Very.
I wonder if that
likely.
even boosts. Will that boost your thing?
plus
at all? I think-
200 more, actually.
nice.
So I'll take that. That makes sense. All right,
I mean,
so be sure to
yeah.
follow at Spittin' Picklets if you're interested to see exactly what he locks in. Outside of that,
yeah.
any final closing thoughts, gentlemen?
No, I gotta go. So
All right.
Hope we hit all of our bets today. Our
yeah,
20
let's go.
plays.
Big card, big game.
Thanks so much,
Go
Ashton, for
Canucks.
joining
Yep,
us.
no problem.
Great work,
fellas.
Spittin'.
Always fun.
Good luck tonight, everybody.
Thank you.
See you next Tuesday.